everyone, welcome to the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to hang out in between videos. Come check out the Discord. We're also doing exclusive content over on Patreon. We've got a schedule up in the community tab, but we're doing things like competition shows, K-dramas, and content from groups here on the channel. Today, though, we are continuing our deep dive into BTS. This time we've got part 2 of the... Oh, are you running late? Me too. Are you running late too? Part 2. Thank you for explaining the text speak to me. Didn't catch on to that one. Gosh, that makes me feel old. Ugh. But we are here today with Coffee being our first track. So let's get into it. Just a quick reminder that one of our songs today is going to have a little bit of a longer special video attached with it. I think it's Paldong-san. Paldong-song. And we have a video from DKDK TV to explain that. We're not going to do that for every video, but it was explained to me that this one specifically, it would really help out with. All right, let's check out Coffee. Oh, I should probably fix my audio first. Okay. Breakup song. Maybe.
tonight 잘 자요 오늘 밤 괜히 이 두 사이 어색한 기름만 흐르던 첫 문자와 초통화 기대하던 첫 만남 근데 남의 손톱만 물어뜯었을까 긴장했어였을까 시간이 흐르고 자연스레 우리 두 사이 연인 아닌 메인 그런 말들로 매일 서로를 확인하고 확인했지만 새긴 우리의 첫 만남은 카라멜 마키아토처럼 달콤했지 어디든 같이 가고 싶던 마음도 시간이 지나면서 마치 에스프레소처럼 내려놓게 되었어 괜시리 속 아프네 우린 참 좋았는데 이별은 쓰디쓴 아메리카노 아직도 추억은 여전히 그 카페로 가고 있어.
It's kind of a look back at the whole relationship and the feelings of the entirety of the relationship. Okay. Oh, I like the electric guitar switch up in the back. Jimin going off in the back there. Okay, 100% so far, this is my favorite song on the album. I love the vibes of this. The mix of raps and like R&B and like the acoustic guitar that switches into the electric guitar. This has immaculate vibes. It's a little bit melancholy, a little bit sweet and wistful, but like still has a nice enough carry through beat where you can enjoy it without getting overly sad or into your own feelings about it. It's chef's kiss on this one. I think what would have taken it one step further for me is if we had like a little bit of brass or like a little bit of a sax in there. I think would have been really like a cool touch as like an accent part to go along with Jimin's high notes in the ad libs. I think that would have been kind of cool. But already favorite song on the album so far. Okay, let's check out a live performance of this. I bet this is pretty chill. From everything I've seen of Jungkook so far, he is very baby here. RM's verse too, like, just fits the vibe. His voice goes so well. Drank my own tea too fast. Oof.
tonight 찾아요 오늘 밤 괜히 이 두 사이 어색한 기름만 흐르던 첫 문자와 초통화 기대하던 첫 만남 근데 난 왜 소중함 물어들었을까 긴장해서였을까 시간이 흐르고 자연스레 우리 두 사이 어지간해 그런 말들로 매일 서로를 확인하고 확인했지만은 우리의 첫 만남은 카라멜 마키아토처럼 달콤했지 어디든 같이 가고 싶던 연도 기간이 지나면서 마치 에스프레소처럼 내려놓게 되었어 괜시리 속 아프네 우린 참 좋았는데 이별의 스리스 아메리카노 아직도 추억은 여전히 그 카페로 가고
Why do I want a version of this where they're just performing this at a cafe?
1, 2, 3, 4 그래 매일 하루 종일 네 향기 속에 취하던 시절과 서로 먼 날 기약하며 이별을 택했던 기억이 나 너같이 좋아했던 민장 커피를 먹다 보니 너가 생각나며 rewind 시간이 많이 지난 요즘 가끔 네가 보고픈가 왜
Like this, the vibe of this song is like sweater weather, some shades, and a flat brim cap, you know, at a cafe. That's the vibe I'm getting. Maybe it's raining outside. That's the picture this song is painting for me. They must have been in Japan, okay. Because he said, I love you in Japanese, and then everybody started apologizing. Okay. I think there are two ways you can really perform this in a concert setting, like they did here, where they're all just sitting, or in an encore setting, where like you're just kind of walking around on the stage and interacting with the fans. This isn't really like a choreo kind of song. You know, maybe if you're doing something like really laid back and swaggy, you could do something and it could work. But I feel like this kind of vibe just fits the song really, really well. All right, cool. Oh, we don't have another live performance. Okay, we have our next song coming up called Cipher Part One. Some of you warned me in the comments if I liked the previous Cipher as much as I did, and it was a joke, that I was not ready for their real ciphers. So I'm guessing this is just the rap line, and this is going to be some legit nonsense in the best way. Let's go. Okay, there was an intro.
Damn hip bullshit. Idol rapper, cut that bullshit. 자기 본질은 idol 시시라면 날 무시. 주대 따위는 개주고 내 이름을 피우지 못하기만 무시밖에 모르는 니들이 how you kill me. So bring the monster back and extract my monster swag. So this is the monster track, it's my freaking monster rap. 현대판 홍길동들 좋은 걸 보고도 좋다고 못해. 3세대 리더, so I'm a leader. 이건 세대 교체, I'm sick. Yeah, I'm the top of the top of the top. Still be popping and rocking, I'm stopping and blocking them like the Casio. Sounds I'm a darn. Be good, my because I'm not freaking darn. We some garbage, my cause every kick is my freaking son. Nah, wall like grande, but now I'm more than you rappers. Shot it there, sort of 버리고 then I'm a more than you haters. 자 이제 나와, 그리고 말해봐. 누가 네 top 5 rap monster 란다. 리더 랩몬 네 아빠 썩.
Those are all of his names, right?
내 가능성을 리트윗돼 모두에게 알려 내 flow 고막을 타고 네 몸을 채워 칼을 갈았어 내 We check it back in the days 나이고 rhyme도 몰랐던 나이고 그저 아이돌 바라본 광주의 흔한 나이였던 나 그래 이젠 보여줄게 이 트랙 위 사이퍼에서 내 포부를 박혀 I'm more both the minors 그래 너와 남다른 major 난 TV 스크린을 난 채워 래퍼 커스텀 너 거품을 걷고 내 배터 내가 원하던 것을 난 지금 어디 가도 위축감 배가 아프면 병원 가 전치주감 내 패배를 바랬던 사람들 다 뒷목을 잡지 힙부심 판치는 게임 위제 협은 반치 남의 필 버티면 저격 shit 위에 블랙프루프로 한 방을 먹였지 어설픈 가짜들은 질려 반응하지 좀 더 열폭게 바라 내 발에 막히는 포케야 더맨 난 비트 위에서 쇼팽 난 절대
Ooh, Chopin reference with the piano in the back. Nice. Yeah, so he's saying here, like, it's the haters are like saying that it's too hard to rap and last and survive in this growing world of K-pop. He's like, then just go home and give up, right? Like, rap is a hobby. Do what you're gonna do for fun. I'm here doing this for real. I'm gonna survive because I'm a real rapper, and just because I'm an idol doesn't mean that means any less. And one of the things they've touched upon a few times in their lyrics, which I've really appreciated, because I think it's a bit of a an interesting setup in the system of K-pop as a whole is that sometimes artists are forced to be rappers when they would prefer to be singers, right? And they are kind of shoehorned into this role. And sometimes they do really well and they end up enjoying rap, and like that's great. Like they thrive and succeed in their own way, right? But like it is very clear that the rappers in BTS love rap and they wanted to rap. They may also end up doing vocal work and singing as well at some point in their careers, but the driving motivator for being there was rap, and they didn't want it to be treated as a second-class citizen in music, which is cool, right? Like it is cool to take ownership of your spot in the group, even if, you know, sometimes you don't get as many lyrics or as many, like as much line distribution, because rappers often get fewer lines than vocalists just because they have to fit more into a shorter piece of time oftentimes in music. What was I trying to say? My thoughts running away from me. Like, I'm not saying this to diss K-pop or to diss the idols who have been shoved into the rapper role and made do with what they could, right? Like, that's not the criticism here. It's the idea that there are people who then like view rap as this thing that they were forced to do and have resented it, rather than owning their spot, enjoying their spot, like wanting to do that, right? And there's a different feeling about those kinds of rappers, right? That are here because they wanted to be. They are rapping because they wanted to be. You see it a lot of times in artists who are rappers in groups that will still rap in their solo tracks rather than go for 100% vocals. Again, not hating on any other artists. And it's clearly a problem with the system, not the artists. But yeah, it is very enjoyable to like listen to their rap because you see how passionate they are about it. Okay, next up, Attack on Bangtan. I would have loved to see like an actual like live of a Cipher though, like to see them. I know a Cipher is kind of off the cuff and meant to be a little more freestyle, but it would be cool to see just like the three of them in a room or in the recording studio just dropping these. Like it would just be fun to watch that. Anyway, Attack on Bangtan is next.
하지만 방탄소년단이 진격한다면 어떨까? 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격 용감하지? 용감한 방탄소년단 인기 역시 용감하게 킥킥대래 난 랩감을 깔리고 깔린 랩감을 들이다 쓸어버려 가뿐하게 빅빅대래 가사 완전 신들렸지 24/7 언제나 난 good 목도 없고 멋도 없는 애들이 오늘도 후려대는 두 발이 보란 듯이 경적을 올려 이 판의 주사편의 가요계 추계 첫 타석과 홈런 때려 자신 없다면 방망이를 내려 내 무대 끌린 대로 슛해 맘대로 그래도 대중의 함성들은 내게를 채워 그래 난 무대 위에 강백혀 가지면 해 그저 마이크를 꺼두고
Ooh, the harmony there. This is kind of like a signal song. Okay. Did they fold nugu into the lyrics as the term nugu, as like a play on words? I wouldn't doubt it.
시작됐다면 눈 뒤집혔어 비 오는 날 우리 스타일은 no more dream 무대 위에서 선배들 등을 밟지 What more can I say 데뷔부터 지금까지 쭉 위로 우리의 고지 점령한 시간 문제 첫 블락을 잡아들인 도미노 잡아들여 눈 깜빡이면 우리 무대에서 길을 잡아끌어 이런 감각스러운 내 랩에 향연 한 번 맛보면 순간 빠지면 너는 완전 속이 다 Everybody hold me down Okay 나는 4분에서 박자 비트 위를 항상 찍고 다녀 무대 위에선 상남자 남의 춤 준비됐네 힙합들 준비됐네 명치에 힙합 주고 단전호 남의 춤 준비됐네 힙합들 준비됐네 그렇다 지금부터 소리 질러 우리가 누구 진정의 방탄소년단 우리가 누구 겁없이 집어 삼킨다 Cause we got fire 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 and higher 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 날 모른다면 제대로 알아보 무대 위에 오르는 순간 그대의 함성들을 난 느껴 그대로 영원히 거기 있어줘 이대로 죽어도 후회는 없을 테니까 우리가 누구 진정의 방탄소년단 우리가 누구 겁없이 집어 삼킨다 Cause we got fire 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 and higher 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 날 모른다면 제대로 알아보 우리가 누구 진정의 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 진격해 방탄 소년단처럼 우리가 누구 진격해 방탄 진격
Oh, that's a fun way to end it. I think the interesting thing about this one is that the person who stood out the most to me in this one was Jungkook. He really was kind of showing off that he is in fact a complete all-rounder, right? He was rapping, he was singing, he hit some of those beautiful falsetto notes. It just seems like he's got the whole package. Yeah. And again, like, I think this feels like a signal song. This is just kind of like them announcing who they are. They're just saying like, get on the bandwagon now, because the only place we're going is up. Granted, I'm very late, but we're here. So let's check out. Ooh, there's a choreo for this. We get a dance practice. This feels like it would be a big concert kind of performance, that they would really go big for this. So I'm excited for the choreo.
하지만 방탄소년단이 진격한다면 어떨까?
영감하지? 동감은 방탄소년단이 역시 용감하게 틱틱대래 럭커를 가리고 컴을 스스로 보내 가뿐하게 삑삑대래 가서 먼저 신고렸지 24/7 언제나 나 끄끄 먹고 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 먹는 애들 오늘도 불러대는 척척척 후반이 노란 데서 경쟁 오게 안에 주사편에 가요
Ooh, we got props. Ooh, smooth. Ooh, the march. Okay. Yeah, man, that like kind of shuffle march thing that they had going on was definitely like the killing point to that choreo. But it was really cool. Even though they were using hand mics, they still kind of incorporated that pair or like team choreo, cooperative choreo that I'm like really starting to get solidified as like a strong cornerstone of their choreo. Is that there's always something that involves the entire team as a move, or at least 4 members. In this one, it was that big domino wave where everybody was leaning over each other, and then the like vault over the top of it. So yeah, like that's really cool. Especially like it's hard to do those kinds of moves when you're holding like one of your hands is occupied. Yeah. All right, let's check out a live. See it all come together.
Hey, hey,
Ah, this is an encore, isn't it? It's gotta be, right? Who's King Baekho? I imagine they're a Korean celebrity, but I'm not sure of who they are. I've heard of Baekho before, but I don't know if it's the same one. I've heard the name. They're having a blast. A little freestyle cooperative choreo. V looks like he's just run a marathon. This definitely has to be near the end of the show. J-Hope is dying. Oh no, that was Jimin that was dying of laughing. Okay, okay. Yeah, man, that was cool. The energy of that was just super, super high. Okay, so here's the song, the Satori Rap, that's going to have the explainer after the lyrics. So I think it has to do something with the dialects of the different regions that they're all from. So we're gonna see some like differences in the wording here. We'll get into the whole explainer, but yeah, let's check it out.
Once again, BTS represent. 우리는 방탄소년단.
The production's really familiar. What is that sample with the brass instrument? Is V Rap in there too? Alright, I can see why you guys recommended the explainer for this one. It is extremely heavy in references to the culture.
충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와볼다고 전화한게 우리 멋져 보러 허벌나게 기아가 좀 솔직히 한번 생각해봤는데 경상도 남자가 좀 잘생긴 것 같다. 아니에요 형님. 맞다니까. 아니라게 하지. 맞다니까. 조용히 하셔 그냥. 아이 촌놈들 난 소스테이로 만나 서울에서 나서 서울 말잘 배웠다. 요즘은 모디 사투리 같다 벼슬이다만 그래 인정할게 악센트들이 멋스리다. 하지만 여긴 표준인 만큼 정직해. 처음과 끝이 분명하고 딱 정립돼. 한국말의 표본으로 정리되지. Only eyes goes with English you never understand it. Okay 솔직히 솔직해질게. 경상도 사투리는 남자라면 쓰고 싶게 만들어 전라도 말들은 너무나 친근해. 한 번 입에 담으면 오야 내가 다 기쁘네. Why keep fighting 결국 같은 한국말들 올려다 봐 이렇게 마주 안 같은 하늘. 살짝 오글거리지만 전부 다 잘났어. 말 다 통하잖아 문산부터 말았어. 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 뭐라카노 뭐라카노. 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와볼다고 전화한게 우리 멋져 보러 허벌나게. 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 뭐라카노 뭐라카노. 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와볼다고 전화한게 우리 멋져 보러 허벌나게.
I loved RM's verse in that one in specific, because it was just like, hey, you know, I'm from Seoul, like this is the like kind of standardized dialect, the one that everybody knows, the like well-formed Korean, but I'm a little jealous, guys. You know, like it sounds so friendly, it sounds so cool. It doesn't matter. We all are Korean, we're all speaking the same language. Let's everybody be friends. We can all communicate from the tip to the bottom, like from the north, from all spaces within Korea. Like it was like a message of inclusion, while the song was kind of also touching upon the things that make them different. I'll be interested to see what the lyrics, like kind of the full breakdown is, but like that felt like the core message of the song in RM's verse there. Let's see. First we're gonna get some choreo and maybe a live, and then the explainer, I think. I love that this has a choreo. I'm stepping in as a mediator. Ooh, backup dancers. Oh, I know him. The dude in the tan cap, I know him. He's a judge on a bunch of competition shows. Ryan, I can't remember his name right now. That's gonna drive me nuts. There it is, the cooperative choreo. Okay, before we get into the live, that was cool. That was a really fun choreo. Like, it gives off kind of the energy of being self-made, but I'm not sure if it is, especially with that pair choreo near the, or that cooperative choreo near the end. But it gives off that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Like, it gives off the vibe of them playing around and having a good time with their friends, and coming up with this. And it looks effortless. Clearly not, but it looks it. Which is always the great sign of a group that like really puts a crazy amount of time into practice. Like, they always say that the more effortless that it seems on stage, the more effort that it took to get there, right? Like, by a factor of 10, right? Like, you have to be to the point where you just don't even think about it anymore. Your body just does it. For it to look that effortless, right? And to get there is always so much work. Okay, we've got a live performance up now. This one's show champion, so there's a fair chance that it gets blocked. Hopefully not.
2-0.
One second, now I've lost audio. Hold on. And we're back.
남자라면 쓰고 싶게 만들어줘라도 말들은 너무나 친근해 한 번이면 답은 오야 내가 한국말들 올려다봐 이렇게 마주한 같은 하늘 살짝 목요리지만 전부 다 잘났어 하나 통하잖아 부산부터 말한다 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 뭐라카노 뭐라카노 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와본다고 전화할게 원문적으로 허벌나게 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 뭐라카노 뭐라카노 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와본다고 전화할게 원문적으로 허벌나게
Fun. Yeah. Alright. Here we go. Explainer. This is gonna be a hot minute. But we'll figure it out.
BTS has been breaking records, appearing at the Grammys and all, but one other thing noticeable is the fact that they are promoting Korea and its language more than ever. Now, people are digging into their older songs and finding it hard to fully understand this one particular song called 팔도 강산, also known as the Satori Rap.
서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 뭐라카노 뭐라카노 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와본다고 전화한게 우리 멋져보러 허벌나게.
So, to begin with, the title 팔도 강산 basically means our land or Korea.
Okay.
To chop the word up, the word 팔도 comes from the Joseon dynasty when Korea was divided into
neat.
8 provinces, which are 함경도, 평안도, 황해도, 경기도, 강원도, 충청도, 전라도, and 경상도. And 강산 means the beautiful mountains and rivers you can find in Korea. Basically, all of these regions had and still have their distinct culture and dialects. The fun of this song is that BTS members are representing each region they originally come from by singing in dialects so-called Satori. Already in the intro hook, Jimin first speaks in the Busan dialect. It shows one of the typical expressions of Busan by using the famous word ma, which is a way to call a person. Morakano means, what did you just say? So basically, the Busan dialect has some sort of tough feel to it,
Okay.
often associated with manliness.
내가 이거는 완전 내지 이거는.
그만 좀 탱기라 공기 주차 보기도.
그러니까 신아야, 네 내랑 사귈래?
Then J-Hope speaks in the Jeolla or Gwangju dialect. We can hear words such as ranke, which is one of the ending words in the Jeolla dialect. Many words in the Jeolla dialect end with either ranke, tanke, buro, and yoing.
말 시키지 말란게요.
이상하다게.
직접 마중을 다 나오시고
몸 상들 없고.
One characteristic of the Jeolla dialect is to speak a little fast and drag the last syllable while raising its accent.
참말로 무엇을 잘못 먹었는갑다. 서방 알면 똘가상에 복숭을 훑으리다다가 벌집을 쓰셔갖고 대구박이고 나빤데고 참다 쪼사버릴 주둥박이라 허겄네.
아재들 안녕하신 물과 내가 고향이 대구 알밀과 국해서 오늘은 사투리 랩으로 무심한 가시나 신경 쓰지 말고 한번 놀아봅시다.
Suga speaks in the Daegu dialect, which is similar but slightly different to the Busan dialect.
Okay.
Since they're in the
Little
same
rougher,
Busan
more
province, even Korean
like
people
manly
have
sounding.
difficulty distinguishing between the two. But it's known that the location of stress and intonations are slightly different within sentences.
얼마 전에 폰 샀는데 막 갔다.
얼마 전에 폰 샀는데 막 갔다.
내 차에 들려 바로.
Some notable points in Suga's verse are vocabulary such as 아재, 머시마, and 가시나, which respectively mean old man, boy, and girl. The original standard would be 아저씨, 남자, and 여자. This vocabulary pretty much applies the same to Busan or any other place in the Gyeongsang province.
여러분 모두 안녕들 하셨지야 오메 무쇼 요 물댐실을 파겠디야 아재 길도 거가 박혀있지 말고 나와서 즐겨라 다 잡아보자고.
Now J-Hope raps in the Jeolla dialect again, which is known to be very friendly and affectionate. It's quite different to the Gyeongsang dialect, which sometimes can sound even hostile. If you just look at J-Hope's verse, the lyrics itself represent the nature of the dialect. He's basically greeting everyone around and calling everyone to come out and enjoy the party. Also, a very important and essential vocabulary of the Jeolla dialect appears here, which is 거시기. 거시기 is an almighty word that can replace any word in the Korean language. Usually it's used as the meaning of hey, or you know, like the Gyeongsang dialect's ma. But it can also turn into pronouns like it or that, meaning it can mean any word. So it comes in handy when old people can't remember the word they want to say, or when people want to say an embarrassing word.
우리의 전략 전술적인 거시기는 한마디로
머시기 할 때 거정 갑옷을 거시기 한다. 알겠지?
거시기 잘 하라고.
뭐라카는 문디 자식 저거. 매번에 거시기와 먼저 쓰인 거시기.
Okay.
두 가지 정도로 그 뜻을 압축해 볼 수 있습니다. 머시기와 거시기는 죽어도 모르겠습니다.
And once again, you can
Okay.
notice the endings of each word being dragged and toned up. Now we go into the pride of each region, starting with the Gyeongsang province's 신라의 화랑. Shilla was the origin country of Gyeongsang province and once united the three nations Goguryeo, Baekje, Shilla into unified Shilla. But eventually in the 10th century it was conquered by the Goryeo dynasty. It had an elite warrior.
Getting a cool little history lesson going on here too.
The Harangs were a social club of young males that gathered to study art, culture, religion, and martial arts. They also acted and fought according to specific commandments called the Sesok Oge, which were like the following. So in this part, V is proud of this elite group and claims that the descendants and the bloodline of them is still running in their veins of Gyeongsang people. Plus, V acted in the Korean drama Hwarang as well. Also, if you look at Jungkook's verse, he's overly proud and confident of his Satori and culture. Note the two usages of aiga in these sentences. Momo aiga is a way you end a sentence by asking, am I right or not? Try telling me that I'm wrong. So it's like this one-directional question, possibly forcing the other person to answer yes or yes. Now you kind of get a grasp of what Gyeongsang people are like. Very proud, confident, and maybe even handsome. Now it's Jeolla time again. Jae-ho can't lose to the Gyeongsang boys, so he brings up the famous dish of the Jeolla province, which is bibimbap. Jeonju bibimbap is the most well-known and probably the best bibimbap in Korea. It is one of the most famous, healthy, and pretty dishes that represent Korea to the world.
That looks amazing.
The competition on which is the best region has become more intense. Suga approaches J-Hope and the other members by saying, "Do you know what Gaga Gaga means?" It may sound like Goo Goo Gaga to other people, but to Gyeongsang people, it actually has the meaning of, is that person that person?
가가.
I remember something about this in Learnway.
First ga is a fast pronunciation of k'a, which means that guy. The second ga means is. The third ga refers to the guy we've talked about before. And the fourth ga is finally a question mark. So basically, Gyeongsang people are making fun of other regions that don't have the complexity. Another fun and classic example would be the way Gyeongsang people pronounce this. Other regions pronounce all of them the same, but people from Busan or Daegu can differentiate them all due to the intonation or stress, like this. Also, in the next line, Suga and Jimin say, who says Gyeongsang-do is rough? By this line, we can examine the stereotype and Gyeongsang people not approving it. But it's kind of funny and ironic that the way they're saying it and actually doing it seem a little rough. Ultimately, they're reinforcing the stereotype. Next, the Anabara movement is introduced. This was a movement during the 1997 IMF bailout request situation when Korea's economy had failed and many were driven to the streets or gone broke. Each letter of the Anabara stands for 아끼다, 나누다, 바꾸다, 다시 쓰다, saving, sharing, exchanging, and reusing. The people voluntarily participated and made this movement a success, sharing with neighbors and reducing costs. Although this movement isn't necessarily originated from the Gyeongsang province, its mindset and mission is of what usually Gyeongsang people are like, sharing and caring for each other. Gyeongsang people have this catchphrase like 우리가 남이가, 친구 아이가, which means we are no stranger to each other, or aren't we all friends?
우리가 남이가
Actually, at the end of the verse, this appears in the Daegu dialect as well. 우리가 어디 남인가. Onto the other parts in the verse, you can again find the confident and tough characteristics of Gyeongsang people. 지긴다, 지기네 is another well-used expression for saying something is outstanding or the best. The subtle 아주라마 is actually related to the Busan local baseball team culture.
Wow, okay. They went really deep with this.
When a baseball lands in the audience seat, the crowd shouts "Ajura, Ajura" constantly to give the ball to the nearest kid or baby. In conclusion, we can see that despite being tough or direct on the outside, Gyeongsang people have a warm heart and care for others more than anybody in the inside.
That's the way it should be at a baseball game, man. This one was the most confusing to me.
J-Hope decides not to back off to the Gyeongsang-do dudes. He starts with the epic words shibang, which is a very popular term equivalent to 거시기 in the Cholla dialect. Shibang means now in the dictionary. However, it has more of the nuance of, hey, look at me now, or what you saying now?
시방은 한 17만 정도 될걸?
네 시방 나 인내력 테스트 하냐?
Plus, sometimes people mishear it as the most used curse word in Korean, 씨발, so it sometimes can be mistaken. Probably that's the reason J-Hope used it as the first word of his verse. Then he goes on with words like 흠이 어쩌스까나, which are basically exclamation words that could be maybe perceived as oh my god or OMG.
하나를 먹어버렸어요.
It could be either positive or negative. But in this case, it would be a sarcastic, wow, what should I do with you guys? Towards the Gyeongsang-do members. The battle goes on as J-Hope now turns offense. 시부리다 is a strong way of saying talking. It would be closer to babble or chatter. This word exists both in Gyeongsang and Cholla area, but changes in usage. In the Gyeongsang area, it's used like 뭐라 시부리 쌌노?
뭐라고 시부리 쌌노?
And in the Cholla area, it's used as J-Hope does. Both words shibang and shiburida kind of sound like the curse word 시, so it sounds very strong in a sense. Plus, J-Hope keeps on going offense by saying things like this. Aguji is also a strong way of saying mouth, usually used to say shut your mouth. While provoking why their mouths are all shut now, he says that he can make all the holes in your body open by eating 흑산도 홍어. 홍어 is a type of stingray that's caught near the Cholla region. This Cholla specialty is especially famous in an island called 흑산도. The ray is fermented and conditioned in a particular way, and after this process, it emits a very strong odor. And many Koreans, including me, dread going even near it. The odor is so strong that people dare not eat it, but usually people from Cholla actually enjoy it. So basically, J-Hope is teasing the Gyeongsang-do dudes that they go nuts if they eat hongo. Now in the lyrics, a tricky part appears. Suddenly he starts talking about months and becoming pregnant. Many armies have tried to decipher what this means on the internet, but up to this day, nobody knows what he's talking about.
Really?
So in conclusion, it's just whatever he thought of at that time. This is actually a characteristic of the Cholla dialect as well. Because of the fast speed and friendliness, Cholla people tend to include totally irrelevant or very detailed info inside the conversations.
동작그만 밑장빼기냐? 내 패하고 정마담 패를 밑에서 뺐지. 내가 빙다리 핫바지라 보이냐 이 새끼야.
Still, he does introduce Budungsan, which is a very high mountain located in Gwangju. It's known that if you hike up to the summit, you can see far enough to Jeju Island. Also, there's a special watermelon that grows only on this mountain.
That's why they
for its enormous size. J-Hope
referenced the watermelon. Okay.
Baby to be born, and says he's a Bangtan, one of them, which are meant to be huge and successful.
기아가 좀 솔직히 한번 생각해봤는데 경상도 남자가 좀 잘생긴 것 같다. 아니에요 형님. 맞다니까. 맞다니까. 조용히 하시오 그냥.
Finally, the Satori battle has come to an end, and at this point it has become meaningless and just bickering between the members. Suga brags that he thinks men from Gyeongsang region are handsome, then J-Hope says that's not a fact, and they go on back and forth bickering. But weirdly enough, there are widespread stereotypes that men from Gyeongsang are handsome in average.
미쳤 놈들 난 so state of mind 난 서울에서 나서 서울말 잘 배웠다 요즘은 모디 사투리가 다 벼슬이다만 그래 인정할게 악센트들이 멋스리다 하지만 여긴 표준인 만큼 정직해 처음과 끝이 분명하고 딱 정립돼 한국말의 표본으로 정리되지 only eyes goes with English you never understand it okay 솔직해질게 영상도 사투리는 남자라면 쓰고 싶게 만들어 전라도 말들은 너무나 친근해 한 번 입에 담으면 오야 내가 다 기쁘네 Why keep fighting 결국 같은 한국말들 올려다 봐 이렇게 마주 안 같은 하늘 살짝 오글거리지만 전부 다 잘났어 말 다 통하잖아 문상부터 말았어.
Now it's time for President King Namjoon to wrap up everything and end the fight. As a Seoul, or technically Ilsan person, he says that the Seoul Korean is the standard, and it becomes the good example of a well-structured language. Also, he does admit that Saturis are attractive, that as a man he wants to use the Gyeongsang dialect, and Jeolla dialect sound so friendly, but still he points out that there's no gain in fighting with each other. This actually stems from deeper history where Jeolla and Gyeongsang regions had hostility towards each other during the 70s, and even until now. It's called 지역 감정 in Korean. The history is very complicated, but it basically started as politicians and presidents were mostly elected from the Gyeongsang region and started developing only the Gyeongsang cities, leaving out the Jeolla province.
Interesting.
Also, the politicians used this hatred towards each other to manipulate votes and etc. Furthermore, if you go deeper, actually in the old Korean days, the two regions were all different nations that had war with each other and small interaction. So actually the subtle and deep-rooted hostility comes from way back. Anyways, RM finishes the fight and says we are one Korea that might have different accents and dialects, but at the end perfectly understand each other, which is the only thing that matters. So BTS has accomplished 2 missions in Gangsan. 1, showing the diverse dialects and fun sides of them.
You get to
2,
see like an interesting side, and then you get the
Just one more thing. Although it's ambiguous, deriving from the title's name, Gangsan, BTS might have hidden their message towards reunification of the current war split North and South Korea, because the 8 provinces include those 2 from North Korea as well.
Interesting.
It's true that North Korean people speak differently, but at the end, we can also understand.
I didn't want to like include that, but I could see that. I could see that understanding as like also saying like, hey, you know, it's all one as well, right? Like, interesting. Okay. We got like a big history lesson as well as like kind of a dialect lesson and some really interesting feedback on like how this thing was put together. And it is extremely deep. And I like that a lot. Okay. All right, cool. That was fun. Let's watch it live.
Are you ready? Hands up. Let's go.
But it really is kind of like 2 sides fighting against one another, then RM kind of coming in to resolve the dispute, which is a nice structure for the song. I also feel like this could be like one of those kind of things where the ad-libs in that little bickering section in the middle could change by concert or performance.
So state of mind 서울에서 나서 소마저 배웠다 요즘엔 모디 사투리가 다 벼슬이야 그래 인정할게 아직들이 멋으니까 하지만 여기 평균은 만큼 정직해 총각 끝이 분명하고 다 정리돼 하고 말의 표본으로 정리되지 우리 eyes was with English you never understand it Okay 솔직히 경상도 사투리는 남자라면 쓰고 싶게 만들어 전라도 만드는 너무나 한 번이면 담으면 오야 내가 다 기분해 Why keep fighting 결국 같은 하고 말들 올려다 봐 이렇게 마주한 같은 하늘 준비나 가자 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와봤다고 전환할게 우리 먼저 보러 허벌하게 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 서강원부터 경상도 충청도부터 전라도 우리가 와봤다고 전환할게 우리 먼저 보러 허벌하게
All right. Oh, is this? Oh, this is the outro. Okay. So we have a outro here to finish off the album called Love in School. And it's just a vocal line. Okay.
잠이 들 것만 같아 Oh no no 그려보곤 했어 Every rule the world 널 다시 내 옆에 둘 것만 같아 아직 늦지 않았다고 내게 말해줘 이게 악몽이라면 나로서 구해줘 잘 봐봐 아직까지 난 너만 기다리는데
야 신아야 나랑 사귈래?
Okay. That's interesting that's they kind of end on that. I know you guys told me that these albums kind of form trilogies, and this is kind of the school trilogy. And this is gonna lead into, I think it's called After School in Love. Is that the name of the next album? I can't remember. But this album, let's kind of like wrap up our feelings on this album as a whole. Coffee, definitely my favorite track. I liked everything we heard, but Coffee is definitely my favorite track. It's just immaculate vibes. Cipher, really sweet. And the Satori Rap, I think, was like one of the most interesting songs that we heard, just to really kind of download some cultural knowledge from the explainer and really get to feel the diversity of like how deep that they will go with their lyrics, and unapologetically include things that, you know, you might not get, right? NO, you know, again, had a very thought-provoking effect, right? Like, I don't think I did a super great job of explaining the way I was feeling, but like it made me reflect on my own experiences and what my own opinions would be about raising children, not necessarily about Korea's standards. And like that was kind of cool to see that it has that effect on you, to allow you to examine your own feelings about a subject. But yeah, really cool album. Definitely excited to get into more of it. But that's gonna do it for us for today, guys. So until next time, love you. Bye.